Welcome to Deleted Chapters from Famous Novels. I'm Archibald Peach. Today a deleted chapter from Twilight. I walked into Edward's room. Learning that he was a vampire was shocking, and my mind was still reeling with questions. There was music coming from his room. It was brassy and elongated. I pushed open the door, and Edward was sitting on a chair in front of a small television. The radio in the corner was the source of the music. "What is that?" I asked, pointing towards the radio. "Blue champagne," Edward replied. "Do you like it?" "I'm not sure I've heard of it," I said. "It was top of the charts in 1941. "Oh," I replied. "You have to remember, Bella, I'm over 100 years old." I nodded, unable to speak in the presence of this beautiful man. "What are you watching?" I asked. Edward smiled. "Oh, this is the Texaco Star Theater." "What is that?" Edward sighed. "You've heard of Milton Berle?" "I guess," I said. "Well, this is where he got his start." Eager to change the subject, I said, "Edward, I've only known you for a few days, but I know that I'm in love with you." "I'm in love with you too," Edward said. "But can't you see that I'm a monster?" "No, you're not," I said. "What about my diamond-encrusted skin? Isn't that horrifying and ugly?" "No, it's beautiful." "What about the fact that I hunt animals for food?" "Lots of people hunt and eat animals." "What about my perfect features, old-time chivalry, and protective nature?" "No, that seems like things that women want." "I thought about all this when I was watching you sleeping last night. It won't work." "Whoa," I said. "You were in my room, watching me sleep?" "Of course," Edward said. "That seems a little stalkerish, creepy." "Well, yes, I am stalking you." I took a step towards the door. "I don't know if I like that." Edward moved towards me. "I'm from a different time, Bella. This is how we did it back then. You'd show up at a girl's house unannounced, pitch woo by singing her a love song, and if she said no, you showed up every day after until you wore her down. But when you put it that way, it sounds nice." "Sure, and if she still said no after a month, then you took her by force." "What?" "Yes, if she didn't want you, then you had to ruin her for other men." "Maybe you are a monster," I said. Edward took my hand and looked me in the eyes, and I instantly regretted what I'd said. I mean, he's just so good-looking. It's hard to argue with that. "I've moved past all that now," Edward said. "I try to suppress the monstrous side of me. Do you think anyone suspects what I am besides you?" "Well, Mike doesn't seem to like you much, but I don't think he knows anything." Edward nodded. "Mike, he's the Gildersleeve to my Fibber." "Huh?" "Fibber McGee and Molly," Edward said. "You know it was a radio show." "I don't care about that," I said. "I only want to be with you. We have so much in common. I'm sure we'll make a great couple." "I can't," Edward said. "I'm too tempted to rip your throat out and drink your blood." "Is it weird that that turns me on?" I asked. "Yes," Edward said. "Yes, it is." "Then change me," I replied. "Change me into a vampire too." "It's not that simple," Edward said. "There are rules. Plus, you'll lose your soul." "I couldn't do that to you." "You never get older, right?" I asked. "Yes." "And you can't die unless someone kills you?" "Correct." "So then if I'm not going to die, what do I need a soul for?" "Look," Edward said, "even if I changed you, it's not like we'll end up like Mary Kay and Johnny." "Who?" "The Honeymooners?" I shook my head. "Hey, Jeannie?" "Nope." "The Goldbergs?" "I've heard of that one. From 1949? "Nope." Edward sighed. "It doesn't matter. The only way that we can be together is if I change you, and I will never do that." "Yes, you will," a voice spoke. We looked to the door and saw that Alice was standing there. She had a small smile on her face. "You guys aren't big on privacy, are you?" I asked. "I'm sorry, it's just that I couldn't help but overhear you two arguing, and I've seen the future. I know that you change Bella, and the two of you end up together." "We do?" Edward said. "Yeah, and the path to get there is really long and tedious and filled with danger. She'll be able to protect herself a lot better if you changed her now. I mean, then James won't come after her, and the Volturi won't be interested in your kid." Our kid, we said in unison. Yeah, basically it just makes a lot more sense to change her now and avoid all of this. Huh, Edward said. It sure is handy that your visions tell you everything about the future. It kinda destroys any dramatic tension whatsoever. That's true, Alice said. Maybe it would be better if there were vague and undefined limitations to my power. I mean, having a person who is pretty much omniscient really sucks the danger out of our lives. How unfortunate but understandable that that chapter was deleted from the book. Thank you so much for watching. Please come back every Tuesday for more deleted chapters from famous novels, and every Thursday for dumpster diving. Be sure to click the button to subscribe, like our video, and leave us a comment. Thank you again. See you next time.